Actually, before we start writing the code in Bootstrap, we need to set up some tools, which are Code Editor and Modern Web Browser. Throughout the course, we're going to use Visual Studio Code, which is a free and also one of my favorite code editor, and it's created by Microsoft. As for the web browser, I'm going to use Google Chrome. Actually, those tools are optional. You may have your own favorite code editor or web browser, and it's absolutely okay. You can feel free and use them, but nowadays I think that VS Code and Google Chrome are one of the best tools to use. I'm sure that you already know how to use Google Chrome, so I'm not going to waste time on that. As for the VS Code, in order to download it, you have to visit to code.visualstudio.com. Then click on download and then you have to install it, which is a very simple process. Actually, I have already installed those two tools, and the next thing that I'm going to do is to create our working folder. Let's call it Bootstrap 4. Then open VS Code and drop this folder in it. I'm going to create a HTML file. Let's call it index.html. Alright, actually there are several ways to use Bootstrap. First of all, let's go ahead and visit to Bootstrap website. Let's type here getbootstrap.com. So this is the website where you can find everything regarding Bootstrap. As we said, there are several ways to use it. First one is to use Ready Content Delivery Network links. It's also called as CDN. And the second one is to download the proper Bootstrap files and use them. In the most part of our course, we will use CDN links, but besides that, you will also learn about how to download and use Bootstrap files. For now, we're going to use CDN links, so in order to get them, we need to click on Get Started button. So you see here we have links for CSS and JavaScript. Those are the links that we will use, and also down below we have Bootstrap Starter template, which includes all the needed links. Alright, let's copy this template and paste it in our index.html file. Then delete those comments. Also in title, let's write Bootstrap 4 and get rid of this heading as well. Okay, so in head element we have link for Bootstrap CSS. Here is used Bootstrap minimized CSS version, and down below we have 3 JavaScript links. First one is for jQuery. Then we have Popper.js link, which actually is another JavaScript library, and it's added in Bootstrap 4 version. And lastly, we have Bootstrap minimized JavaScript link. Alright, that's it about Bootstrap Starter template. The next that I'm going to talk about is some packages of VS Code. Throughout the course, we will frequently use Emmet package, which by default is built in Visual Studio. If you use different code editor, then you can install it, because it's really helpful when you write HTML code. The second package that we are going to use is Live Preview Mode. It helps us to run the code without reloading the page each time. In order to install it, you have to click on Extension Manager, then search for Live Server, and then click on Install. I have already installed it, so that's why you don't see here Install button. Okay, as for the editor theme, we're using here a theme called An Old Hope, but besides that, there are dozens of different themes. You can search for them in Extension Manager and install any of them you like. But also when you install VS Code, you can find several default themes. In order to choose them, you have to click on Settings, then Color Theme, and choose the theme you want. Besides that, you're able to modify some settings. You need to click again here on Settings icon, and then choose Settings. So on the left side we have default settings, which you are able to change. In order to do it, you can click on Edit, then choose the proper value, and after clicking on that, it will be appeared on the right side in the list. Actually, I'm not going to use autosave, so let's delete it. So you can go through those settings and modify them as you wish. Alright, let's close settings and run this file using Live Preview Mode. In order to do that, you can either click here down below on Go Live, or by right click you can choose Open with Live Server. So the file is launched in Google Chrome. I'm going to organize editor and browser. Let's place them side by side. Before we finish this lecture, I want to show you how we can use Emmet. In order to create any of the HTML elements, you don't need manually to open angle brackets and then write opening and closing tags. You just need to write name of the element, let's say div, then press tab or enter, and the element will be automatically created. If you need to create, for example, 10 div elements, then you need to write div, then star, then needed amount of elements, and then press tab. So you see that we have here 10 div elements. Alright, next I want to show you how to create element followed by its child element. Let's say we want to create div, and then inside div we need h1 heading element. For that we have to write div, then greater than sign, and h1. So you see that we have wanted result. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you is how to create element with attribute, let's say with class or ID. For that we have to write name of the element, for example h1. Then in case of class attribute we need to place dot, which will be followed by the value of class attribute, let's say heading. So you see we have h1 heading element with class heading. In the same way, in case of ID attribute, we need to write name of the element h1, then hash sign, and then the value heading. Here we go, we have h1 with ID attribute. In case of div element, you don't have to write its name, you can just place dot, or in case of ID, hash sign, with the value, let's say test. Alright, that's it about Emmet. I have showed you just basic use cases of this package. Throughout the course, we will use it very frequently. Okay, so we are ready to go. Let's move on to the next lecture.